Broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona. You're now listening to the hottest podcast, The Get Down, with your host, JD.
What are we talking about?
Anything and everything. What's going on, everybody? This is the Get Down podcast. I'm your host, JD. Brought a special guest on today, Maricela Garcia, actress, model, I don't know, mom, fitness. What else?
I write poetry too sometimes.
Poetry? Speak up though, just a little bit. No, just speak up. You don't gotta, you don't gotta kiss the mic or anything. All right, so you write poetry as well. You got a poem for us?
No.
No?
Not today.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're in Spanish, so I get inspired in Espanol.
Oh, in Espanol. Is it from watching Telemundos or what?
Okay.
You know, or your life struggles?
All those novelas.
Is it from boys or what? Does that inspire you?
They're mainly about love.
Oh, love. Are you in love right now?
I guess you can say that.
Sort of? 100%?
It's getting there.
All right. That's, you know, I'm not in love, I don't think. Well, I mean, I might be. I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, and it's also hard when you don't let yourself love.
Right.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I love my girlfriend, but I don't know if I'm 100% in love. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm aiming for her, but it's just hard. I mean, I don't know, maybe because I'm still working on myself and trying to love myself more. That's what's kind of killing it right now. But anyways, back to you. Actress.
Yes.
What's going on? I mean, I've worked with you on a few films.
Yes.
You worked with my cousin on a couple projects, I take it. Tell us a little bit about your film history.
Well, I started I think it's been almost 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago, I decided to just pursue acting. I was, at the time, I was still attending college. Out of nowhere, I was watching the Hunger Games one day, and I was just like, you know what?
Hunger Games.
I want to be in a movie one day. And then I just started doing research about agencies, local agencies, started networking a lot, trying to pursue more networking in California.
Okay.
But ever since I was little, I mean, I did home videos with my sister and my brother sometimes, and I always felt like comfortable in front of the camera. I like making people laugh. I like goofing around, trying to like be something different, add some drama to a scene or whatever, experiment with like different scenarios. So I decided to pursue it, and then I started kind of hitting the LA market. And so I've done about 3 TV commercials. I've done one for Curaçao, which was aired in Fox.
Yeah, I know that place. That's a cool little spot.
Curaçao, yeah.
It's a Mexican, like Fry's Electronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot more expensive. But if you got no credit, they'll take you.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
pay for it, though.
You do payments.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it for them. Oh, actually, and I've done for More Furniture. That was like a recent one that came out.
That's all I want, yeah.
Yeah. And there was another one for, where was it, testimonial for, it was in Spanish, it was Oro Club.
Don't know what that is.
It's kind of like related to, let's say, like Mary Kay. When you purchase your own,
the makeup and everything.
You're like your own boss and you sell it yourself. Okay. But this one is like selling jewelry.
Did they try to convince you to become a seller?
No.
No? Okay.
Not really.
It's like a pyramid scheme, I feel like.
I mean, they introduced it and they were like, oh, if you're ever interested, let me know. Because the owner, obviously, he was there.
That's cool. Did he give you free jewelry?
No.
That's not cool.
Well, it's gold, so it's like, it's not cheap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they could have broke you off a little something.
12-karat
gold or something like that. I made a 12-karat gold special for the, commercial people.
Yeah. Well, I did wear a lot no. of it for the commercial. Like rings, earrings, and everything.
That's cool.
But
you wanted,
no. I would.
I'm glad you're honest like that, so now people know that they can trust you.
Well, yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to I feel like break any connections that you do have. I mean, you want people to trust you and to want to work with you again. Always. So it's always good to be honest, and it's always good to treat others with respect too.
Amen.
I feel like a lot of people go into sets, and even though you have had previous experience or worked with celebrities or big actors before, I feel like you should never go in a set feeling like you're better than other people, or thinking that I'm doing you guys a favor because I'm here.
Have you ever been on a set like that out here in Arizona where it felt that way?
In Arizona,
because Arizona from LA is a different vibe. You could tell right away as soon as you probably work with people.
yeah, definitely.
Out here, I feel like a lot of people feel like they're already on that level, but then
Yeah, that's true.
this has got a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with a couple actors that feel like they know everybody and everything in the film industry locally.
Mm-hmm.
So they do kind of are, but I feel like they're more like loners, because I feel like they think that they're better than other people, so they're kind of just in their own little bubble,
Mm-hmm.
or either just talking to the main people, which like either the director or producer or whoever is like in charge of the set.
Now, we worked on 3 films together.
Mm-hmm.
Or technically, we worked on like 5 together.
Yeah.
Because we did, the first film I did ISO,
Yeah.
where you helped produce it. And then we did The Last Hour, where I killed you in the movie. Sorry. Crazy thing is, I'm writing The Last Hour Part 2. Only because people have said, you should write a second part. You should write a second part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or a prequel to it. And I haven't been really motivated to write a lot. So I've been kind of like writing, but I haven't really wrote too much lines. It's more just of like what's going on. It's really hard to find collaborative writers out here that want to write on a project. So I've been writing that part, and I'm like, dang, I should let Maricela, I killed her, never mind. Like, she can't be in the movie anymore.
Right.
And then we did Nigga, the documentary together. And you were supposed to be behind the scenes.
Right.
But it turned out you were just so awesome that we went you on the screen. You know?
Yeah.
And that was an amazing film. We learned a lot, definitely, through that process.
Yeah.
Then we worked on, we did the student film.
Oh, yeah.
What was that thing called? Psychedelic, some kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I wanted to touch on that because what was your view on that student film? What did you learn about yourself, or what did you learn about working with students, or what did you learn in general, and what was your takeaway overall from that film?
Well, it was the first student film I worked on, I guess, throughout my acting career. And it was definitely, it was like the first and last one. Because, I mean, it's very different when you work on like huge sets or like featured films in California, and then you go down to working with students that are really getting started and aren't really sure what they're doing, and they need more guidance of how the camera should be set, like even with like settings and the lighting, and there's so much more than just like holding a camera and telling people to act in front of it. Like the lighting has to be good, the angle has to be good, and you have to reshoot in different angles the same scene like maybe 20 times. So it's like a lot of times I feel like they didn't really catch that, and they were I think the biggest struggle was communication.
Yeah.
Because
lack of.
Yes, and because the director wasn't just the one speaking out her ideas or what she wanted. There was definitely like 3 or 4 people trying to say like, oh no, but that's not gonna work, this is gonna be better, or no, I think we should do it this way. But then the director was like, no, but I want to do it like this, and then nobody was really listening to each other.
I agree.
And kind of like put their foot down and be like, yo, this is my film, I'm the director, I need to do it this way, you know?
I agree. When I was brought on to consult or be a director of it, I guess I was a consultant at the end of it. I took over the first day, and it seemed like things were smoother that day.
Yeah.
We got a lot of film shot, but then I left early because I was just like, working with the director. And she's a great person. She's very nice. But if she's going to come into her own as a director, you have to put your foot down. Man, she didn't put her foot down. She let everybody else kind of dictate what she wanted to do.
Right.
Instead of just saying, like, hey, you know what? I want this done, like you said. It was more of, okay, sure, guys, let's do this. Okay, and then I'm freaking out. I can't handle this. I'm gonna go take a break. I'm gonna walk away. Now, even if you are a young director, I can understand it can be overwhelming, but tell your crew up front, because we've had that issue before, where we worked with like Steve.
Yeah.
And Steve was very, I want to just hurry up. I want to take the camera. Let's just do it real fast, and it's good enough for me. Mm-hmm. And we're like, no, that's not what I want. That's, it's always the director has to put their foot down.
Yeah, and I mean, the role of a director is, I feel like it's so much.
It is.
To just take on as a student. I mean, I don't even think with my experience, I can even do directing right now. Just because it's a lot. You need to know all the different types of cameras that you need to be using, all the lenses. The lenses is like a whole different ballgame. Like you need to know what lens you're going to need for that particular scene. You can't just depend on your cinematographer or the camera guy to know everything.
Well, hopefully your cinematographer, you can experience one where they could definitely recommend and already have some stuff, ideas to throw your way.
But as a director, you need to know that.
You should have kind of like a vision in your head.
You need to know what lenses you're going to use, how you want the scene to be laid out or like played out, and then also you need to know how to, in a way, also act, because you need to direct your actors on how you want the scene to be played out, because you can't just be like, okay, that's good enough, but you don't really know if it looks genuine or not, or if it looks natural in front of the camera. So if you don't have a lot of experience, I feel like as a student, I wouldn't be able to direct a film. And so it's just like, as a student that's just getting started, it's a huge role to take on. I feel like, because directing is very difficult.
It is, and I've directed 5 projects for the most part, and sometimes you sit back and you're like, well, like ISO, when we first worked on ISO together, I felt like it was directing. I think I focused so much on directing, I forgot about sound and other key elements that you need to know as a director. Same thing with Mega. I worked on just behind the scenes of directing that we didn't realize that big multi-purpose room. Well, I don't think anybody really realized how the sound was going to be that bad in that room. With everything off, we thought it was going to be like, oh, this is pretty clean. And then when you upload to the computer, and you're like, oh, yeah, it's not as clean as we thought. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely some elements I'm trying to work on myself now. And as a director, you're always trying to improve every film that you do. Every film that you do, you want to go ahead and improve and try to do better. And that's what I'm trying to do, hopefully, on the next projects. Do you see yourself directing a film this year at all? Would you like to do? I know you just said right now.
Directing?
I know right now you just said you don't think you're ready, but do you see yourself this year even trying it? Maybe even like a short 2-3 minute film. Because I feel like when people direct, they always have to feel like, oh, I got to do a feature length. Like I've done shorts, and people are saying now, hey, you got to do a feature length film. But funding is expensive. 1, for that. 2, actors want a lot of money. Some want a lot of money, and some. I mean, if you're doing it for the culture and you're really trying to do it, if you believe in a project and the director's doing it for free and he's providing food and everything on set, I really kind of feel like it's a wash at that point. Mm-hmm. Like you just work together at a network and you're trying to build a product together.
Right.
Now, obviously, if the film came out and it was crap and you want to put on your resume, then cool. But it's like that film we did, Tom, where the detective, where I had that portion to direct.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the final cut and I wasn't really 100% happy with it. Mm-hmm. I felt like it wasn't funny. Like I felt like it was funny when we were working on it, but then after you saw it put together, I felt like it was just the actors were trying too hard. Mm-hmm. I felt like the film wasn't. I really felt like it was like a D quality film. Mm-hmm. Like
wow.
Like I wasn't too proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could reshoot it all over again, I probably would redo the whole film if I had full control over it. But it was.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely hard when you have more than one director take over different scenes, because your vision is different. Like you don't really know what happened the day before, and you don't really know how like they played out the scene and like where all the items should be at and what all the actors were wearing and how they were already portraying that character.
Now, the student film,
very different.
Going back to the student film, did you see the final cut?
Yes.
What did you think?
I thought it was okay.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was okay, but I recently got another email because I asked her, I want to see the final cut and the director's cut or whatever. When they went back in there and they recolored it, they try to color fix it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was bad. The color grading was bad on it. It felt like they were trying. I don't know. Maybe it was just the file upload or something, or maybe the quality of that. But it was just the color grading was off. It was no longer that clean cut. It was just the color grading was off.
Yeah.
That project took 3 days to shoot for what, a 5-minute film?
And that's the thing too, and that was the thing that frustrated me the most, is that it took so long just to shoot one scene.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's hard because when you're already doing this for free, because we were just volunteers there, and we were told that, okay, we're gonna start at this time and we'll probably end around like maybe 10, 11 at night. And then you expect to start at that time, and they weren't ready. And then it was taking forever for them to even say, or like start filming, And it's hard because it was just for me, that was just like the most frustrating part, because I mean, I was volunteering my time, and then I ended up being there till like 3 o'clock in the morning just to shoot.
Yeah, you're stronger than me. That's why I left.
Same scene. And I mean, I have kids to go home to, and then I had to take them to school the next day. So I only got like maybe 3-4 hours of sleep some nights. And then the next day, we were back to basically the same thing. It was like, okay, we're going to start at this time so we can end at this time. But then communication again, they were like going back and forth, no this, let's do that. And then we ended up changing up the ending because we ended up having to go to a different house. We couldn't use the same location. So I feel like it was kind of a lot of chaos.
I felt I was brought in, like I said, to be a consultant, whatever, help out. I wrote the script for them. Mm-hmm. The original script was pretty good, like to write in like 40 minutes.
Right.
A short film. I was just like, I just wrote it for them. Then I gave it off to Vanessa, and then she rewrote some of it and took out a lot of stuff that made sense. And just, I felt like, I was like, what are you doing? You're rewriting a script. You add stuff, maybe remove a little stuff, but you kind of almost rewrote the whole thing and changed it up to now it doesn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. So then when we went to filming, I felt like the script rewrites again, or they kept changing up stuff and it was just like, now this film doesn't make sense really.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I was like, okay, the last day I was over it. I was probably over it after the second day, honestly. But I kept showing up because I was like, she's a friend. But I voiced my frustration. I probably wasn't the most nicest person to be around on the set. But it was just one of those where it was like, we're taking 45 minutes just to shoot a hallway scene, and we haven't even shot the scene yet. You know what I'm saying? That scene, we were sitting on the couch. People were falling asleep.
Yeah. And
we're just sitting there like, when are we going to start? And they're arguing over, no, this. And I'm trying to tell them, like, at the ending scene, when I said, hey, have them pull them out. Then when you watch the final cut, you're like, everything happens so fast. It's like, that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. And then the camera scenes, it's like, what happened to those other angles? Like, I felt like it just became a rush project. They won first place. Which was good.
Yeah, congratulations.
I think that's awesome, but I think overall, and obviously she's not going to ever ask us to work with her again. I mean, I've seen her work on like 3 other projects, and she's not going to ask.
Vanessa as a person, I like her. She's a great person. And probably the crew is too. I didn't really get to know everybody that well.
The crew is really cool.
I mean, but and it's hard when you're also like, I feel like when you're working with a bunch of friends and you're so young and you're in college and like maybe they're serious in this, maybe they're still, I don't know, because it's hard also to even work with like really close friends because they might not take you seriously in a way, you know. So as a director role, you have to be more strict and demanding, I guess. And
then I can see what you mean by working with friends and
with with your classmates.
Yes, because then it's like you don't want to having bad blood spill over into school.
Right.
But that's why they encourage you to bring outside people. Mm. And that's why I brought you in, and I was like, let's just make this film for them and help them kick ass in this film. And I just felt like they were still kind of I don't know. I don't think they took it as serious as it could have been. I think it could have been a really good film. Mm-hmm. And it's not a horrible film, but it's not a film that I'm going to watch over and over again. Mm-hmm. It's not even a film I'll probably put it on my resume because I don't have a poster or anything for it or anything. I don't have any other headphone for it, so I can't put any of it on all my stuff. But so I'm like, well, I guess. And I know we talked about, working on a project together. You as, more of a immigration cop.
Yeah.
Thing going on, which we still need to talk about on.
Yeah.
What other projects have you worked on? I know you had a Netflix thing. What happened with that?
So I'm still waiting on hearing back from that. So basically, it's called Fire and Ice. It's a comedy 80s cop show. We shot the pilot for it about 2 years ago now, here in Phoenix. Or Arizona. It wasn't really Phoenix. It was more South Lake Chandler area. Okay. But it got picked up by Netflix, and it's been becoming. I guess it became such a big project that other sponsors and investors wanted to join. Like Sony, became one of the investors. There's been like other people that have been investing on it. So now, because it became so big, they're trying to get bigger actors involved. So far, I know like Steve Zahn is going to be one of the main characters. Denise Richards, she's going to be...
is she a big star?
Denise Richards
She's a big star? So?
Yeah. I think she was like the lady in Baywatch. The big blonde. I think that's her.
Denise Richards was Charlie Sheen's old.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. She's a big star still?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't watch a lot of TV, honestly, so I don't really know if she's anything.
I mean, I think every guy would like to look at her back in the day, but I don't really think she was a great actress.
Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't seen a lot of her work.
She was a James Bond too, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. You said big stars, I was just wondering.
Well, Danny Trejo is going to be in it.
Danny Trejo, he's the man right there. That dude's awesome.
Yeah. And then they said a bunch of other people are going to be in it, like big celebrities. I don't know every single person, I remember.
It sounds like almost like a D-list celebrity movie. Like there were big names back in the day, but I think right now it's just like, Mm-hmm. But Danny Trejo was a man. I like Danny. Because he just always is like that cool dude in the movie, no matter what, even if he's a villain.
Yeah.
And his movies, what was that like?
Producer out here really making a living out of film.
Yeah, well, my cousin too, Iron, come on.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Iron makes more modern day films, more classic stuff, and more.
But I feel like somebody who's actually getting investors to invest in his film and actually being able.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
He's like, I feel like that I know of. He's like the only person in Arizona who's doing that. And horror films are pretty big right now, and a lot of people want to invest on horror films.
Why? I can't watch horror films. I don't do that shit. That's why white people stuff.
I guess it just depends on your target audience.
And horror is huge.
A lot of
Western.
I feel like younger millennials are definitely into.
I'm good. We got a president in the office. That's a horror. The government shut down right now. Do we need another horror movie? We got one every day.
That is true.
Agent Orange.
That is true.
Why do we need to make movies, man? Y'all spending money on horror films. Just look at the White House. Look at TV every day. There's a horror right there every day. We live in a horror every day in America.
Yeah, this year is definitely going to be a big year, especially I feel like for women. There's a Women March today, actually. Did you know about that?
Yeah, it's a National Day of Exercise for women. Okay, I say that only because your face. I say that because last year they did this right after he got elected, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, my only beef with this, and I think it's great that women are coming together and marching. I think it's awesome. I think it should be more than once a year. But they should have been doing this before he was elected. Because after he was elected, what are you going to do?
Right.
And that was my beef with it. I was like, wait, you guys are all coming together to march, and we're not going to stand for this. But you should have done that when he made the grab him by the pussy comments.
Yeah.
And you guys should have been organizing marches weekly to the White House, to wherever he was at. Doing it after.
I feel like you do have a point. I mean, it makes sense. But I feel like because of what he said, so many people were like, there's no way he's going to be elected. There's just no way.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of felt like he had a chance to win it from the get-go.
I feel like after he made those comments, well, like, especially, like, after he made, like, the racist comments and, like, against women, I feel like a lot of people were like, this guy, there's no way he's going to win. And a lot of people were like, he's just kind of like...
I felt he was going to win because he was different. And that's what America wanted. People in America, a lot of racist people were going to come out and start voting and showing their true sides. And I felt like this whole Make America Great Again, we're going to keep jobs here. I think that appealed to a lot of people. And, you know, like I said, it was dog shit or cat shit. And we got dog shit in the White House. Either way, out of the two of them. But I just felt like what he was saying was different. And when people appealed to it, like, damn, he's going to make America great. He's going to change all this stuff. He's going to do all this. And then that's what we want. Even though we knew he's an idiot. Was he smart as far as he in the White House?
Well, like, I guess his technique...
His technique was dirty, but it was...
Definitely.
It got him in the White House.
And I think it's just because, I guess, in politics, a lot of people are like, these people running for presidency, they're always going to lie.
And he just was straight up
and this
honest.
guy had no filter.
Exactly.
He just said what he was thinking at the moment. He didn't give a crap if he was hurting anybody's feelings or if he was being mean at all.
So in a way, it's like... You have to respect how he did it. I'm not respecting him, but you respect how, like, okay, he was able to kind of fool the process.
Right.
Instead of sitting there saying, we're going to sit here and we're going to vote together. No, he ain't lying to you. He's going to say, look, I got a big new button. My new button's bigger than yours. Now, that's scary as shit because he's playing with our lives. But at least you know your president ain't going to sit there behind the closed doors and, like, push it. He's going to tell you on Twitter, I'm pushing that new button 12 today. So we got 4 hours to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you can know everything about him and just like checking out his Twitter account. He's always tweeting.
Those Twitter fingers turn into trigger fingers.
Wow.
You know, Drake, man, you were wrong on that one. But, you know, are you going to the march today?
I want to.
You ain't going.
I don't even know. Honestly, I just found out about this yesterday. Going. I was like, what? And, is it where is it? Downtown Phoenix?
I'm not a woman. I'm not marching.
You don't have to be a woman to march.
It's downtown. It's downtown, yeah.
But they're just, I mean, I would love to just because of everything going on right now. Just not just in like Hollywood with producers and other people molesting and sexually abusing and sexually assaulting actresses or people in the film industry. But now even this physical... for the Olympics guy, the gymnast guy, that's just unbelievable. Like, honestly,
I think it happens, you know, sexual harassment happens everywhere.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And these higher...
When I was a little girl. So it's like, now as a grown woman, like, I'm more careful. And I feel like I always listen to my, I guess, sixth sense, you know, like my intuition. Like, if I feel like it something doesn't feel right, then I don't go. Or I don't go and try to audition for this role. I just didn't. I don't know. It's like I definitely has to do a lot with the vibe because you can tell when like a man or a woman is like wanting something more or is hinting for something. So it's just like I definitely avoid to try to put myself in that type of situation. I've never only once I did go to this audition for it was a local TV channel in California. And I had to audition, and the guy did seem like he was like hitting on me in a way, and he was like, he in a way he hinted it, but he made it seem like he was joking. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know if I would have said yes, he would have been like, all right, let's do this, or if it,
let's go back to my trailer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like
let's go use a tent.
But he was like, all right, we can do, yeah, I really like you, and you have a great body, you have a great look, and then he was like, well, but I just want you to do me a favor. And then that's when I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, and then I guess he was just waiting for my reaction to see, like, if I would be like, okay, I'm listening, I'm willing to do whatever, or if I was going to be like, wait, what are you talking about? And then because I guess he saw my reaction and be like, okay, what? Like, okay, where are you going with this? And then he was just like, oh no, don't worry, it's nothing like sexual or anything like that. And then I was like, okay. But then like, I think it was, and I totally forgot like what he said after that, because I was just so turned off right after that. I was just like, okay, this feels really awkward. Like
I think a lot of times for women, they've allowed the sexual harassment to go, and I think a lot of young women will let it go due to the fact that this is my career, this is what I want. So if I have to maybe let him talk to me this way or grab me a little inappropriate, I'll allow it. And that's where I think it's screwed up, because women need to know that you don't need to do that. You could write your own history. You could write your own movies and do your. And I think that's where women and men of color are starting to realize that there's no need. We don't need to wait for big Hollywood to come and say we got money. We're going to come up with our own finances. We're going to come with our own dreams. We're going to come with our own writers, and we're going to do our own projects, get our own funding, distribution. Even if it starts small through the film festivals. You know, and we're going to work our way up.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't just only have victims. I mean, everybody's different. So I mean, obviously, there are some women that are like even initiated, be like, hey, let me do you a favor, and you can do me a favor. Just give me this role, you know. And I've heard from another director who, I mean, he's been part of a casting, and he says that some women like hit on him just so they could get the part. Yeah. So I mean, like,
women don't hit on me. Women don't hit on me for parts. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I want to be sexually harassed.
What?
I'm just playing.
But I mean, like, yeah, it's just like, but I mean, with the B2K thing, did you hear about that? Like the guy group.
Yeah. I used to listen. Yeah, B2K, the black group.
I mean, they were harassed and like basically abused. Their manager or something.
Was it Diddy or was the manager?
Who's Diddy?
Puff Daddy.
Is he one of the singers?
Oh, he's Puffy.
I don't know.
You don't know who Puffy is?
No.
You don't know who Puff Daddy is?
I need to see a picture. I'm really bad with names. I'm not a rap type of person.
Everybody knows who Puffy is. His new name is Love. That's what he calls himself now, Love. I think it's kind of cool. But they've been saying for years that they're a little gay. I wouldn't be surprised if he was messing with one of those B2K.
Yeah, well, the story I heard is that their manager, or I don't know, this Love guy, would make them basically have sex with each other, and he would watch.
Wait, hold on. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Wait. So you mean B2K were sleeping with each other?
Yeah.
Omarion? He was in B2K, wasn't he? I think he. Oh, yeah, we've always kind of suspected some stuff on him, but you mean they were sleeping with each other?
It's not because they wanted to; they were forced to do it.
Forced? I mean, shit. You didn't force me to do that at all. Ain't no way. Well, that's a lot to swallow this morning. I didn't know that. Gosh.
Yeah, it's really, and that's just only like part of what we know.
Are you sure it was B2K, not NSYNC?
Yes, it was B2K.
Because NSYNC, I can see it. B2K, so just to have a little curly hair and Lance and all them. Okay. It was B2K. I still believe it was, or was it O-Town? 98 Degrees.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Boys.
No, not Backstreet Boys. They were pretty dope.
They're pretty awesome.
I can see NSYNC though, because they had a little fruitcake stuff going on for a while.
I don't know, but anyways, that's what I heard. So far, that's what I know. And well, I feel like maybe to some extent, maybe some people thought it was part of it, and because I know a lot of women that are big now actually like slept around to get to where they are now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like everybody's perspective is different. So, and also their values are different. So it's like maybe someone didn't care. Like, all right, if it's gonna get me the role, if it's gonna get me in the theaters or whatever, it's just like. So it all depends.
True. But, all right, what projects do you have coming out right now? I know you're working on that YouTube channel for a while. What's going on with that? Are you still gonna be hosting your own show?
Yes, I'm still. I'm trying to still gather all my ideas and materials. I still want to get like a better mic, so the sounding is better. I want the quality to be good. So I'm still kind of waiting on getting enough money to do all that good stuff. I already like planned it out. I have a bunch of topics And yeah, that's it. Well, I'm also working with Photomodno. It's a new natural magazine.
Nice. Okay.
And that one hasn't launched yet. It's a brand new magazine, and it's going to be the first magazine to be an all natural magazine, basically. So no Photoshop, no editing on the pictures, nothing.
Nice.
All the models are going to be 100% natural, meaning that they're not going to have any implants. They're not going to have any surgeries.
That they'll tell you about.
No, there's a doctor. There's like a doctor involved in the magazine that makes sure none of the models have.
Well, I mean, what about fat transfers? What about fat transfers?
Nothing.
Because you can't. Can you tell those all the time? I'm just wondering.
I don't really know. I've never done it. I've never investigated or researched it.
I like to take some of this fat and just get it out, transfer it to the trash can, but that's about it. All right, well, we appreciate you for coming by today. This is the Get Down Podcast, episode 12, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maricela Garcia. Throw out your Instagram.
So all my social media, so it's like just Maricela J Garcia, Maricela J Garcia.
Can't spell your own name.
Maricela. Well, I think you'll probably add it to the.
Yeah, I'll tag you.
You'll link it. So so check it out. I post.
Booker.
I try to post often. Yeah, and I recently one of my friends from California is writing a script for this huge feature film, and that's going to be filming in the Dominican Republic.
Hey, sign me up.
So I might go over there.
Sign me up.
Sign
me up. I like Dominicans. They cool people.
So that's coming up too. So that's really exciting.
Hey, let me go get my passport. Anyways, check it out later. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, guys.